Sunan Abu Dawood, number 3488. One day, Prophet Muhammad was sitting near the Black Stone. His cousin, Abdullah ibn Abbas, was with him. Suddenly, the Prophet raised his eyes towards the heaven and said,
"May Allah curse the Jews! May Allah curse the Jews! May Allah curse the Jews!"
Why should Allah curse them, Ya Rasulullah?
That's because Allah declared unlawful for them to eat fats, but they sold them and they enjoyed the money from the fats. When Allah forbid people from eating something, He also forbid them to use the money from selling it. May Allah destroy the Jews.
I see. So it's about the fat meats of the Jews.
In Sunan Abu Dawood, 3488, the translator adds information within brackets, fats of the animals which died a natural death. This detail is absent in the original Arabic version. If the English bracketed information is accurate, then Prophet Muhammad would have abstained from touching or consuming fat meats from Jewish sources, fearing that they might originate from animals that died naturally. Yet several years later in Medina, Prophet Muhammad declared his intention to launch an attack on the Jews at Khaybar precisely to obtain that fat meat.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
Let's read History of Al-Tabari, Volume 8, page 117. Prophet Muhammad prayed to Allah, "Open to them for conquest the greatest of the fortresses of Khaybar, the one most abounding in food and fat meat." This move raises questions about consistency, considering his earlier curses in Mecca directed towards the Jews regarding their consumption of fats. Now, however, the Prophet appears eager to obtain and consume the very fat meat he previously condemned, leading him to mobilize 1,500 soldiers for the assault.
Let's get fat meat of the Jews! Fat meat! Here we come! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
Prophet Muhammad and the Muslims had no food to eat, therefore he attacked others to get their food and belongings. This aggressive action, devoid of provocation, clearly lacked any sacred justification. The next morning, God opened the fortress of Al-Sab bin Mu'ad for them to conquer. There was no fortress in Khaybar more abounding in food and fat meat than it. After the conquer of Al-Sab bin Mu'ad fortress, Prophet Muhammad saw how much food and fat meat he gained. The loot of food and meat of Khaybar was mentioned multiple times in Sirah and Hadith, so that you clearly understand the main reason why Prophet Muhammad and his Muslim army attacked Khaybar. Sunan Abu Dawood, number 2704. Narrated Abdullah ibn Abu Awfa. Muhammad ibn Abul Mujahid reported Abdullah ibn Abu Awfa as saying, I asked, "Did you set aside the fifth of the food in the time of the Messenger of Allah?"
On the day of Khaybar, we captured food, and a man would come and take as much food of it as needed and then go away.
The Jewish food was plentiful, so much so that even after a fifth was set aside for Prophet Muhammad, there was still an abundance for every Muslim to enjoy as much as they desired. Sunan an-Nasa'i, number 4435, Abdullah bin Mughaffal said, "A bag of fat was thrown on the day of Khaybar, and I caught it and said,
I will not give anything of this to anyone."
I turned around and saw the Messenger of Allah there, smiling. Did the Prophet eat the Jewish fat meat? Yes, he did. A Jewish woman named Zainab bint al-Harith prepared sheep meat for Prophet Muhammad. Since her family had been slayed by the Prophet, she took this opportunity to put plenty of poison on the meat.
The meat is thoroughly, completely soaked with poison, folks. Just a small bite would be enough to get the job done.
History of Al-Tabari, Volume 8, page 123. So she loaded that part with poison, and she poisoned the rest of the sheep too. According to Hadith Sahih Bukhari, number 2617, the Prophet ate that poisoned meat. Narrated by Anas bin Malik. a Jewess brought a poisoned, cooked sheep for the Prophet, who ate from it. She was brought to the Prophet, and he was asked, "Shall we kill her?" He said, "No." I continued to see the effect of the poison on the palate of the mouth of Allah's apostle. Prophet Muhammad ate that poisoned meat on 629 AD, and he started to feel the pain after he came back to Medina. The History of Tabari, Volume 8, page 124. The Messenger of God said, during the illness from which he died, the mother of Bishr had come in to visit him.
Bishr, at this very moment I feel my aorta being severed because of the food I ate with your son at Khaybar.
Kitab al-Tabaqat al-Kabir, by Ibn Sa'd, Volume 2, page 263. Aisha also prayed for him.
O Lord of mankind, remove the pain. Cure is in thy hands. There is no giver of health other than thee, so grant him the cure that does not betray the sick man.
But Allah did not cure Prophet Muhammad. Prophet Muhammad himself tried to get better by reciting al-Mu'awwadhatayn prayers. Aisha said,
Verily, during his illness, the Prophet, may Allah bless him, recited al-Mu'awwadhatayn and blow his breath upon his body while rubbing his face with his hand.
But Allah did not listen to his prayer. Maimuna, the wife of the Prophet, prayed for Prophet Muhammad.
In the name of Allah I recite for you, and Allah will cure you of every illness of yours.